Welcome back, everybody, to Ride the Six Motorcycle channel. If you're new, you might not be sure what's going on, but I crashed my FZ6R back in the summer, and I'm doing a rebuild on it, but I'm doing an R6 front end conversion on it as well. Something that hasn't been done too many times, and definitely something that has never been documented. Anyways, guys, I know if you're already a subscriber, I know you're waiting for this. Trust me. I've been waiting too, but we're there. It's time to get some R6 parts on the bike. Stay tuned, guys. Check it out. The first step in this R6 conversion is essentially removing your top bearing Raceway from the FZ6R. You can see I have a screwdriver here, but the lip underneath the bearing Raceway is very, very small. It's very fine. I'm going to try to tap it. See if I can't tap it out. But a lot of people say they have problems because the lip is very small and they can't get anything under the lip to force it out. So we're going to try. Yeah, you can see the screwdriver just sliding right by the lip. Alright, so the biggest problem I have, guys, when you hit something upward, it's almost like it always flexes away from the lip. So I've got another flat blade screwdriver here. I've kind of jammed it down the side. And I'm actually using a piece of PVC tubing. It's kind of doing the same thing though. It's still kind of riding up the edge. Yeah, I can't grab the edge of that bearing Raceway for whatever reason. So you're probably wondering, geez, what's going on with this rebuild? Why is it taking so long? So anyways, I just had this come in the mail today. You can't really get that top bearing out to hammer it with a screwdriver or chisel. There's just not enough lip to grab on. So I actually bought this off Amazon. It actually is a steering head puller. You can see it is adjustable. So you just kind of tighten it down with a 12 mil socket, or you open it up with a 12 mil socket. And basically then you just hammer up from underneath. So it does have a couple little ridges on the side. The ridges are not big, like it's only a millimeter, 2 millimeters. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but this is the tool you need, guys, if you're going to be taking your top steering head bearing out of your FZ6R. We're making some headway here. It is moving. And I think our bearing just came out, guys. Alright, there you go. This is your top bearing Raceway. So this is what you have to hammer out of the bike. Hopefully the camera will focus on that for you. So this will not fit the R6 stem. So that's why we're changing it out, guys. So this is the All Balls Racing conversion kit from a FZ6R to an R6. So this is the top steering stem bearing and Raceway. If this is the part number 99-3540-5. If you don't believe me, and if you think you want to double check my work, that's fine. Go ahead, look on their website. You just pick FZ6R and you go into an R6. It's going to tell you exactly what you need. So let's open up this little package here. I've already had it open, so that's why things aren't really quite wrapped up. So this is our new bearing Raceway. There's your Raceway there. This is your new top steering bearing. And you can see it does have to be greased up and whatnot before you put it in the bike. There's a couple washers. I did reach out to them to see actually where these washers are supposed to go. He said it's in case you have to add some thickness and build up the top part of the tree. And a little like dust seal for the very top. So not too much to the kit, guys, to be honest. Just your dust seal, 2 washers, your top Raceway, and your top bearing. Essentially what happens, this goes in the head of your bike. and then your bearing goes in, and this sits right here, or it's supposed to sit roughly right here on your R6 steering stem. It's supposed to sit on that little flat spot or somewhere in that area. And you can see once it's on the stem, like it's pretty secure. Things aren't really moving around, and there's not really a lot of free play. So we do know that this is the right size. So I've lubricated this a little bit. I've just used some fork oil, just something to give it a little bit of slipperiness. These things do go in pretty tough from what I understand. Okay, I can see the top is going in. So when you're pounding this in, you want to kind of go around the bearing. You want to try to push it down evenly. I have it flush with the top part of the steering stem of the bike. And what I've seen recommendations is you take your old bearing and you put it on top, and you keep pounding it down this way. So the last little trick is just to get it down into the neck of the bike, basically. Alright, let's see if we can get our top Raceway out now. It's just sitting on the other one. This should come out pretty easy. We can use our little puller tool again just to pop up the top piece. Okay, there we go. Alright. And you can see this Raceway, it's not as wide as the FZ6R one, because the FZ6R used to hang out over this edge. So this Raceway is going to be really, really hard to remove because there's no way to grab it. Absolutely no way ever to grab it. So once you do this conversion, guys, and you're using this bearing kit, do not expect to turn back and go back to an FZ6R. You probably could do it, but now you're going to have to Dremel out this Raceway or something to get it out of the bike, because there's definitely zero way to grab the lips and pull it out. But anyways, guys, that's the R6 Raceway in the FZ6R. And it looks like it's seated pretty good from what I could tell. I don't know if I could drive it down anymore. I've been hitting it pretty hard, and it is seated in there. So, guys, I just ran to the bike shop and I picked up some Bel-Ray waterproof grease. The manual on the FZ6R is asking for lithium soap-based grease, but if you go, you can't find any of that stuff. So, anyways, this is what I picked up: waterproof grease from Bel-Ray. Grease is grease, guys. Like, I don't know, you could probably have that argument all day long, which oil is better, which grease is better, which, like, they're all lubricants, guys. To be honest, there are a lot of them the same. So what we're going to do, we're going to pack our lower bearing. You might want to get a set of gloves if you don't want to get your hands dirty, because greasing things, it's definitely a dirty job. But we're just going to pack all the bearings in here. Get a lot of grease in around. And then we're going to kind of pack outside as well. So as you can see, this is not an FZ6R steering stem or bottom triple tree. This is the R6 triple tree that we're putting in here. So you could probably never have too much grease. But we're going to get it all greased up. But we need to pack the top bearing as well, so we might as well go ahead and do that. This is our top bearing for the top Raceway on the bike. But same thing, like you're going to want to pack all this. Get it down in between the bearings, inside the housing. This little tube of stuff was like 16 or 17 bucks Canadian here, guys, so the stuff's not cheap if you're going to be buying it at a bike shop. But again, like, you could probably go to Canadian Tire, pick up a tube of just regular grease for like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 bucks. And it'll probably do the same thing. Like, you're just paying for the Bellray name here. But, yeah, we'll grease this bearing up good. Can always add more later on. This is just to kind of get things going. I do want to get this stuff in the bike so that I can start playing around with it, basically. So there we go. We'll spin the bearing. We'll get it rolling. Alright, so I'm going to throw that in the top of the bike. Maybe I'll add a bit more grease to it as well. Let's throw the R6 stem up into the bike. Okay, there's our top bearing, so we'll slide that back down. We're just going to hold that bottom shaft. Put our top, this is the cap that came with the All Balls racing kit. We're going to put that on. And we're going to take one of our lock nuts, steering lock, or whatever you want to call this thing. Going to tighten this on the bike just to hold the steering stem in place. And then we can see what we need after that, adjustments, whatever we have to do. Alright, so there we go. So essentially we now have an R6 lower triple tree on the bike. So now this is the problem, because this steering stem is shorter. There is also a secondary lock nut that's supposed to go on here. But the problem is there's no threads to thread it actually onto the bike. So without lengthening the stem itself, you're not going to be able to put a second lock nut on this project, essentially. Alright, so this is the R6 top triple tree, guys. This is one of the washers that came with the All Balls racing kit. It actually fits directly into the back of the triple tree, so I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. I would suspect I probably will, because otherwise we have these sharp edges of this lock nut maybe grinding into the top triple tree. So I'm going to put this washer on. We're going to throw on our top tree. Okay, this is the stock R6 washer that came off the original stem. And we're going to throw on our lock nut. Alright, so there we go, guys. So there's our R6 top and bottom triple trees. Right now we're just kind of getting things in position in the next video, probably, to slide the forks in and put on the nose cone and check spacing and everything like that. This is the first step in doing it, is getting your triple tree right, your top and bottom clamps right, your bearing raceway corrected. So there's our top and bottom R6 triple trees on the FZ6R. Kind of got some cables in the way here on the top, but just because I kind of got things hanging here. But that's what it looks like, guys. R6 triple trees on an FZ6R. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to be putting the forks on. We're probably going to be putting on the stay bracket, a nose cowl, and we're going to see if there's any fitment issues or if the forks are going to hit anything. I don't know. I hope they don't. But stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.